let's go. Q&A in focus. Let's get right into it. We got a lot of questions. I want to answer all of them, and I gave a 3-hour window from Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, so I have them all screenshotted. I'll put them, I think, here, maybe here. Question number 1. Do you believe in God? That's a hell of a first question. I have no idea. Gun to my head, I would say yes, but for reasons that I would struggle to articulate if you gave me a lifetime to articulate them. Really to take like intuition and take experiences and like odd experiences and try to put them, that I've had over the course of my life, and try to put them into words. Like I would just struggle to even do that, let alone do that in a 75-second window. So gun to my head, sure, but it really, like, I don't know. I'm Mike, 22 years old, studying law in Germany, about to graduate in 2 years, but on the other side, college does not make so much fun. I question a lot of the system. Should you stick to this degree or pursue something you love, like a health and performance specialist? Better to be patient and finish the degree, make more sense to drop out and go intern for a health specialist for free and pursue your passion. At some point, you chose law. I would go back to that point and ask yourself why you chose it. And if like at the core of it, the real reason was to impress your dad, and now you're like making more strides as an individual and realize that's not what you want to do, then maybe it makes sense. But if at the core of it there was a real reason, you wanted to be a lawyer, you wanted a specific type of job, ask yourself if that's still the case or if it's not the case. With the 2 years remaining, because it is a nice thing to have in your back pocket, a degree in general, or like many types of degrees. Are your parents paying for it or not? How much does the education cost if they're not paying for it? Like look at these next 2 years and try to make the decision that, does it make sense financially and time-wise to invest that, even as to like raise the bar on your potential future security, right? Having that backup plan. And remember, you can grind on the side. Like grad school is hard, law school is hard, I'm sure, and I never went, but there's more hours in the day if you want a side hustle. When is daily content back for good? Looks like you asked me, oh, that was just from earlier too. I don't know, but we have this video, so how's that? What are your favorite and or most recommended fiction books? I don't read as much fiction as I should or want to. I'm just gonna default to Harry Potter. Goblet of Fire is my favorite. I really like book 7 too, Deathly Hallows, but 4 and 7 are my favorites, but all of them are amazing. How do you find your way back home when you lose yourself in your thoughts? How do you not just give up asking for a friend? Pouring it on, guys. Between this and do you believe in God? It depends on what you mean by back home. How do you not just give up? You don't give up if you make the decision, and it is a decision, and it's not an easy decision, that life is worth living, right? And you have to have a reason, and like a lot of people find that reason in religion, other people find that reason in creating meaning for themselves in their own lives through passions or work or purpose or family, starting a family, but you don't give up if you make the decision that life is indeed worth living. Yeah, I think that's the best I can do there right now. But follow up on DM if that was insufficient, which it may have been, or if you just want to talk about stuff. Hey Mike, my dream job is to be a travel writer. Do you have any suggestions on some good books or some advice? Thanks so much. So I think like a blog, like you go to different cities around the world and you blog about it. Dope. That seems like it would be a cool thing if you like traveling. I'm not going to give you books to read that would like tell you how to be a travel writer. I'm just going to tell you what I think you should do instead. And that is write every single day. Like every single day, sit your butt in the chair and write. Expect to not make money from your writing for a long time, and so if that means working 80 hours a week right now to get you to the place where you can take that shot, basically you want to have X amount of savings so that you can do this thing, travel and write, which costs money, without any income coming from it. Now, obviously, the goal is to make money during that time, however you do it, growing a following, advertising on your site, recommending products, basically affiliate marketing, which can be done reasonably. But I would go in, worst case scenario, I'm going to be spending Y dollars per month, and like map it out, right? Because you're going to be traveling. Traveling is not cheap, and get yourself to the point where you could hypothetically make $0 and do that. The other thing that just popped in my head was if you had a side job while you were traveling and trying to get this off the ground, but that would require a skill that allows you to work remote, like design or like I don't know, some kind of tech stuff, help people with their websites. I don't know what your skill set is, but save up enough money so that you can do it and write your face off and write poorly, because you'll get better. No fitness questions today. Any chance of coming up with a vegan nutrition plan? Sure, just hit your macros or get close and don't include any animal products. Yo, Mike, hate the place I work and staying working there isn't an option. So it's not an option because, I assume it's because you hate it so much that you're like, this is just not an option anymore. I feel like I can set up on my own and do it myself relatively cheaper and much better. Option to move back to parents and grind is there, but currently not flush with cash. Options are jump into it or get another job, put money away, and then start the business with a bit more cash. But this is going to take some time. What do I think? I actually love the idea of taking steps back, like decreasing standard of living. When I quit my job, my accounting job 6 years ago, and I moved back with my parents it was only for like 45 days, but I got out of my lease, which was expensive. It was like $1,000 a month or something in Minnesota, and moved back with my parents, and I was there 45 days before I moved on to the next thing. But I like that a lot. But then just grind. Make sure you're in an environment where you can have space and have time to yourself and really go. Yeah, but if you can't work what you're doing anymore, and the side hustle is always an option, but do it. Life's short. Do stuff. What do you think is a practical way to get out of a rut in your life, whatever it may be, and build momentum, especially bouncing back after many failures? Also, how do you stay hopeful and positive in these cases? A way to get out of a rut. So I see a rut and many failures as different things, although they definitely don't have to be. I see making some kind of change in your life is the best way to get out of a rut. Doing something differently and maybe drastically differently. I remember Elliot Hulse made a video, maybe someone can link it below if you're a fan or you know of what I'm talking about, back in the day, where he told this kid, maybe 18-year-old, I don't remember, but who was basically addicted to video games, to smash his video game console. Like, don't sell it on eBay and then stop playing video games. Like, smash it to pieces and get in his car and drive and go somewhere different. And just like that real reset. I like that a lot. So doing something drastically differently to snap yourself out of that rut, I think can be massively helpful. If I'm documenting my journey, How can I bring my followers value without giving them advice? I talk about diabetes and health and my journey with that. Cool. So you don't want to give them advice. I mean, what is valuable to people? That's what you should ask yourself. Like, why do people consume any type of content? To learn, but if you don't want to give them advice, then it sounds like that's off the table. To be entertained. I don't know, are you passionate? Are you funny? Are you like can you make people laugh? Would they come to you for that? Can you just tell people the truth constantly in a sea of no one is doing that? I feel like some people come for that. Entertainment. Yeah, like, do you have you're a dude, do you have a super hot girlfriend who you can put in the thumbnails and, like, you know, that wouldn't really be my way of going about it, but people would come for that. Like, think about what your audience wants and maybe ask them, right? Like, if you have a little bit of a following right now, ask them what they like and give more of that is an option. But yeah, think about just coming from the other side. Like, what do people want? Can I give them that well? How are you doing since you stopped vlogging and you're less active on social media? And why did you decide to do it? Thanks, Mike. Have a great day. I'm good, I guess. I don't know why I decided to do it. Or I don't know that I could properly articulate it. But I'll try. I think that when you're consistently making stuff and consistently receiving feedback on that stuff, positive or negative, but especially positive, you make stuff, you unintentionally can end up making stuff for the feedback, which isn't good. Like, which isn't good because it's untrue to yourself. And so one could hypothetically just be good at acknowledging feedback, but being more detached from it. I struggle with that, and I talked about in one of the couple videos I made over this 2-month stretch. I talked about that a little bit. Yeah, so I just wanted to, like, back up and assess things. There are a lot of things that people accept as normal and true and just how things are that I don't agree with, and I want time and space to think about that, especially because one of them is how we use technology, how we consume on social, how much time we spend on social, and what it's doing to us, because it's so normal. Like how so many people can be living their lives in these little tiny mini loops of putting something out there and then waiting for the feedback, and then looking at the feedback and then letting the feedback dictate how they feel in that moment, and just like loop it. It's crazy. It's insane. And not just content creators, right? Like your aunt who posts on Facebook, who cares how many likes she gets on her post? Like, that's weird. It's weird. Or maybe it's not weird because it's so common, but it's definitely not healthy for that individual. And so backing up from content, thinking about what I want to be doing, am I doing what I want to be doing? Yeah, that's kind of why I did it. But yeah, things are good. I've been reading a lot more, dating more. My sleep is so dialed it would make your head spin, which is really important for a lot of reasons, but I did that Sleep Smarter book review. Spending time with family, yeah, but thank you for asking. Okay, question time. How are you getting on with your morning rituals, especially the ones you outlined when visiting your pilot friend in the summer? Captain Joe put me onto the morning routine, and that is something that I have consistently, and not like 75% consistently, like maybe one day every 2 weeks something's going on. Not even really. Almost every day for the past for 2 months for sure, but even prior to that, it was like 75+% dialed in. The visualizations, the diaphragmatic breathing, there's 8 things. I added my inbox to it, so even if I don't reply to everything in my inbox, if I have a 5-paragrapher, I'm not gonna hit that right there, but I at least know what's there. What else do I do? Brush my teeth. I have it written out because I green check every box for the 8 things every single day, and that's like, it's good. It's really good. Thank you for asking, James. When you come into LA, I don't have any plans to visit Los Angeles anytime soon. Favorite thing about Christmas? As a kid, it was the anticipation, right? It was leading up to it. It's good quality family time. Yeah. So seeing people I love is my favorite thing about Christmas. And the movie It's a Wonderful Life, which I watch every year with my dad, which is... What hair product do you use to get that epic volume? Do I have epic volume? I have not. So I used to use American Crew. Which one? With the yellow top, not like green, not the pomade-y stuff. I haven't put product in my hair since, when did I shave my head? Spring, maybe like March. And I haven't used product once since then. So I don't know what I do for the volume. Genetics. When you get down or out of sync, whether in your head or daily routine, what do you... Oh, by the way, I might just throw Tyler's before and after, if that's okay with him. I'll ask him on the screen who asked that last question, because we wrapped up 6 months of coaching in like the beginning of December, and that dude just got jacked. When you get down or out of sync, whether in your head or daily routine, what do you find helpful to reset per se? Why can't I read, by the way? Oh, Alec, too. What's up, bro? Down or out of sync. So something I like for down is the result can often be the cause. And in this situation, you know, you think that you smile because you're happy, right? So the cause is happiness and the result is smiling. But if you inverse it, if you make smiling the cause, you can actually put yourself in a better mood by doing that. Thinking about that is actually really useful. Like just for, even when you're in a bad mood, even if you're pissed, like walking and forcing yourself to smile, you start to feel better. It's weird. Try it. Out of sync, I get back to my roots. I get back to checklists. I get back to what is it that I'm trying to do here, and am I doing what I'm trying to do? And then the small things, like just executing on check this box, the morning routine, like it builds momentum for the day. Doing the things that you can do that are right in front of you that you know you should do, that you want to do, that's just like bang, 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 and you build momentum like that, and then you put yourself in a position where you can take on bigger things. Actually, the other thing that's interesting here, lifting is something I do. For the last 6 weeks, I've been on a solid 5 days a week training program, just kind of eating around maintenance, right? I'm not force feeding food like bulk style, but the increase in volume combined with maintenance calories has probably led to a little bit of muscle gain, mainly because with boxing, I was just, my lifting was so piss poor. I was doing so little of it, infrequent, low volume, not intense, like just got a lot weaker. And it's a different style of training. There are obviously benefits, but strength training is something that makes me happy and something I can build momentum with. So, I'm a personal trainer. How do I start online training? I want to have more freedom over my location. I love my job and I want to grow an online clientele. Put content on the internet. Put content on the internet. Ask your current clients or ask anyone you know if they want online training for free or for very, very cheap, so you can practice and get good at it and get good at working with people online and build your systems and figure out what works for you and figure out what works for clients. But content is what's going to allow people to connect with you, and it's also what's going to allow you to find potential new audience. Hey Mike, for your Q&A, what are the 3 biggest lessons you'll take from 2017 into 2018? Cheers. P.S. Really miss your content, man. Breakfast got real boring. That was funny to me. I mean, 2017 for me was the year of Jordan Peterson, who just had such a massively positive influence on my life. That's a hard question. I want to give you 3 good ones. So one is sort yourself before you try to fix others, or before you try to move outside to bigger things. Like, get yourself sorted out. Clean your room, get the little shit taken care of in your life, get the little like burdens, get the little hiccups in relationships sorted, open, honest communication, and that's like a good place for any reset. What else? I definitely learned something with making daily vlogs, which I think relates to energy management, and I learned that in other places in 2017, and I originally discovered the concept of at least a year and a half or 2 years ago in Scott Adams, the creator of Dilbert's book, blanking on the name, but energy management was something I never considered, and the foods you eat dictate energy management, how much sleep you get, obviously, who you're around, like being around the right kinds of people, being around versus not being around people, depending on whether you're introverted or extroverted, is a way to control energy management. Yeah, so there's 2 big lessons. Focus on energy management and clean your damn room are the 2 things. Oh, you know what? I'm actually going to give another one that's JP related, but also just in that vein, which is with fixing things. Fix the things that you can control and are competent enough and know what you're doing in. And an example that he gave was, if you're walking down the street and a homeless man comes barging at you, mumbling something incoherently, like, that is a real problem. Like, that's a problem. But you don't know how to fix that problem. So don't let the fact that you can't solve world hunger, don't let the fact that you can't fix the political climate in your country, don't let the fact that you can't do that be so demotivating that it prevents you from fixing the problems that are within your reach. That's a big one. Because when you burn 15 minutes feeling sorry for yourself and getting down on yourself or whatever you're doing, that you can't fix that, like, you can't help that homeless person right there in that situation, it's 15 minutes that aren't going to doing some good that you could and are competent enough to do. By the way, I believe at 25 minutes this is gonna stop me. Just, that's the technology, so then I'll just doot. Still 1 take. Are you doing okay? Are you doing okay? You seem to be in a transitional period. Just sending you good vibes. Love your content and outlook on life. Yeah, I'm so jaded about this type of question because I hate it so much. I hate it. But I know your intention is like really sweet and from a good place, and you're genuinely just concerned or curious or whatever. Like I get that it's coming from a good place. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. Is one way I could answer this, but really, like, I just have such a problem with the question, and I don't know why. It feels so patronizing and so maternal and so like something that I received ample of and maybe in excess of compared to the polar emotion over the course of my life, that I don't need that. I don't want that. I desperately don't want strangers on the internet concerned about my well-being. Like, I'm great. I have a burden of excess. I have everything that I need in my life, and whatever existential angst I'm feeling is from the fact that I am in the 1% of the world and don't really have any problems, right? So like, yes, I'm way more than okay, and please use that energy for people with real actual problems. And I get that, like, you know, first world problems are problems, but just, yeah, I'm fine. I'm kind of excited to see what people ask you non-fitness related. You're getting it. How are things going? How are things going? What is keeping you busy these days? I'm lifting for longer sessions at higher frequency. You know, I still run a coaching business by myself, which takes up the majority of my time communicating with clients and designing training programs. Which someone asked me this the other day. They're like, hey, you've been doing like the online stuff for 5+ years at this point. Do you still like it? And they were looking ahead at their future and trying to figure things out. And I do. I made a comment about like not being passionate about getting some dude from 9% to 6% body fat, which wasn't even that true, because then I thought of my buddy Ryan Johnson, who I've been nutrition coaching, just getting him jacked out of his mind. He got himself jacked out of his mind. I really was just like someone for him to communicate with. But I told that person that yes, I really do enjoy what I do and am super, super lucky for that. Aha! I knew it was gonna go out. What else keep me busy? I think I got some sunburn. I flew to Miami. Why am I in Miami? I flew back to Minnesota last week. I wasn't going to talk about this, and I'm still not going to, but my grandfather passed away, and so I flew back like on short notice to try to get there, and then hung out with my family, and like just wanted to be with my dad especially, and be around everyone for that. But then, you know, a week passed, and I'm going back home again for Christmas in Minnesota, and it's like I don't really want to go back to New York. It's like an awkward gap of time, and so I just flew down to Miami because it's warm. I really like the beach. How did I get there? Oh yeah, I'm like sunburned after 2 days here. So yeah, lifting. I'm reading a lot more. I'm writing a lot, even though I'm not publishing it. But yeah, thinking a lot, hanging out with people in person, assessing like relationships. You know, do I want certain people in my life? Are there relationships that I've neglected that I shouldn't have, and like people that I don't want to let slip that I maybe have? Like just getting sorted. My room is spectacularly clean, physically and metaphorically speaking. Yeah. Are you religious? I said non-fitness. Probably not. You know, it depends on what you mean by religious. I went to a Lutheran church growing up, like Sunday school, church, all of that. As soon as I was smart enough, 15, 16, I don't want to like blame people. When you're taught that Genesis is history, like a historical recollection of facts, then as soon as you get smart enough to realize like, okay, well, evolution actually did happen, and like, you know, you can't live inside the belly of a whale. Like as soon as you get smart enough, then as soon as you get smart enough to realize that, and you're being told that this book, like the book, is a book of facts, then you're either like, okay, well, either the book is wrong, or you get put in a weird spot. And so I would say that basically from the time I graduated high school until recently, I privately, because I didn't talk about this with my family, like not even really friends, this was with anyone, I like in my head really denounced religion for very simple, in Christianity specifically, for very simple-minded reasons. I threw the baby all the way out with the bathwater. Like, oh, okay, a few things don't make sense here. Like, I'm just going to set aside this entire text that has an unbelievable amount of really like a collection of centuries of moral lessons that, if followed, lead to a better life for the individual and for civilization, is my current thoughts on that book. And like, yes, there's the other side of the argument. I don't even want to really get into it, but like there's corruption, like in whatever, like the 400s, the 500s, the 600s, like things that leaders, like basically bad things that religious people did to manipulate the masses, doesn't discount the book. And I'm incredibly lucky that Jordan Peterson like steered me back in that direction, because now I'm able to take away a lot of positives that I wasn't able to when I was in this like holier than thou, like arrogant mindset of, like you believe the world was created in 7 days? What a joke, you know? So I don't know if that answered your question. Mike, what do you do in your free time to switch off and relax? I like to maximize my productivity in terms of fitness and work. I tend to feel guilty. Yeah, I feel that. I would feel that guilt too. Reading. I like to do relaxation activities that I really enjoy while I'm doing them, and that make me better when I'm not doing them. So for example, like I still haven't really drank more than 1 or 2 drinks a couple times since whenever I said that in July when I was on the beach with Ben, and I was just like, I'm done. I'm never getting drunk again. Alcohol is one that, and I didn't really enjoy that much while doing it, and alcohol like as a form of relaxation, I didn't really enjoy that much while doing it, and after, you know, clearly that doesn't enhance who you are and how you are in your life when you're not doing it. So what else do I like doing? I like getting massages a lot. I like hanging out and conversing in small groups or one-on-one with people who I like and respect and can learn from. I mean, you can really learn from anyone, but you know, certain types of people more than other types, obviously. Did I say massage? Because getting a massage a week, like there's a book called The 5 Love Languages, and mine is definitely physical touch, and so I like being touched, and massage is dual purpose because it's myofascial release if doing it well, and it's physical touch. So it's like checking these 2 boxes, and they're so cheap in New York City that that's on there. I like going to movies. You know, I like eating. I like going for walks. I like the beach a lot. Yep. Biggest lesson you learn from Gary Vee: it changes the further and further I get away from him. I'm just gonna default into the he helped me understand through his actions and through watching him the limitlessness of human potential. What is your priority in business at the moment? I try to write a blog post a year, and I try to upload to YouTube once a month. It's a really hard life. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Honestly, I could answer this, and I do have places I want to go, not geographically, but I'm not going to, because I'm a big believer in post results only, and I just don't want to disincentivize myself from going where I want to go. Hey man, I have to say thanks. First of all, you have helped me rethink food, what I'm putting in my body. I've lost all the weight I put on. Yeah, let's go, baby. Excellent. My question: What's been your favorite place you traveled to? I want to travel regularly, but don't have much experience. It's overwhelming trying to choose a place to go next summer. Don't let it be overwhelming. Like, you're gonna get to go to a lot of places in your life. It depends on what you're curious for. I mean, your question is, what's my favorite place that I have traveled to? New York City. Because when I went there, it's literally the only city that I have loved. Like, I love the city. My favorite place I've traveled to recently is Barcelona, Spain. It's like, it has this beach vibe with a city right on it. And I've never seen that, like a real city with culture. And yeah, Barcelona's my favorite city that I've traveled to recently. It's actually probably my second favorite city in the world. Do you follow the law of attraction with money? I got my hours cut at my job. I need to start making real money. Any advice? Dang, I'm sorry, bro. I don't know what that is, first. So I don't know if I follow it. I probably don't. Depends what your job is. Is your job what you want to be doing? If it's not what you want to be doing, I would fill those hours doing things that you want to be doing. If your job is important because having all of your hours pays bills and money's tight and you got your hours cut, and so you're in a bad place with, like, if you thought of yourself as a business with revenue and expenses, you're not in a great place because your income's down. I would find another way to make money. Try and find another job, a part-time job that you can do to be making money. Cutting expenses, if that is your problem, I don't know if that's necessarily your problem, but like, we can live on very, very little and still maintain contentment, especially for short periods of time. There's real fun in it, right? Seeing how little you can spend and get away with it. That was me after I graduated college, trying to save up money because I knew immediately I didn't want to work my accounting job. So how little can you spend on food? Where can you shop for this? Like, just cutting out the going out stuff. I don't know if that's your thing, but focus on, see if you can find another way to make money, cut expenses. Yeah. What are your top 5 favorite books you've read in the last year? Love your videos. Thank you. In the last year, I like that you assume that I'm an avid reader, or just know that. So I have this stacked on top of 3 books. I wonder if any of these 3 make my top 5 for the year. The Lessons of History by Will and Ariel Durant might make it. I'm like 80% of the way through, but it just condenses all of history into 100 pages in pretty big text, which is good, so I'd recommend that. What have I recently read? That Sleep Smarter was solid. I audiobooked that. I hadn't read The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People until this year. That's super solid. Shoe Dog, I think I read last year, but that's a really good book if you haven't read it. Phil Knight, the CEO and co-founder of Nike. I'm blanking. I really wish I was in my apartment now because I have all of my books and I could just be like, which ones, but yeah. That's what I read. I might addendum this. Hit me in the comments because I might leave some more in there. I feel like I shorted you on that answer. Hey Mike, curious about the love life. I know you lived in a small place with other guys to save cash and that gave you no privacy. How did that affect your dating life? Were you in any long-term relationships during? So curious about your love life seems really current, but then you reference something from 5 years back. No, I wasn't in a long-term relationship. I was living on a couch in Harlem. It wasn't even that. I didn't have a girlfriend during that time or anyone I was like seeing, but I was dating. What was restricting the amount of dating I was doing wasn't the fact that I was in a small bedroom with a roommate. or a small apartment with a roommate. It was that I was getting my business off the ground, and I was trying to go from $0 revenue as on the regimen as a company to make enough money so that I can sustain myself. And so that was what was preventing me from dating more than anything else. But no, it didn't affect, like, I still had girls over there, and it doesn't, like, I didn't care, my roommate didn't care, obviously. If the girl cared, like, she clearly liked me enough to hang out in some like tiny, not very nice apartment. So what are your 5 favorite books of all time? Comments. Yo Mike, favorite album artist at the moment? Greetings from Switzerland. This new Big Sean album gets better every time I listen to it. I listened to it for the 3rd time today, and like from the first time to the 2nd time to the 3rd time, just picking up more and more in the lyrics. The last track on the album is my favorite. Lyrics are super solid. Yeah, I've been big in rap and hip hop lately, for some reasons. But I'm really big on paying attention to what you're consuming and how that impacts you, because that's something I've been paying attention to a lot these last 2 months. It is so unbelievably relevant. What you consume impacts your mindset, which impacts your actions, which just impacts everything. And we know that, right? You think of the 5 people you surround yourself with, you become the most like. But do you think the 5 songs you listen to most impact your mindset the most? Not really, or at least I wasn't thinking like that, and I should, because if I'm walking around listening to screaming infidelities on repeat, like, what is that going to do to my mindset compared to listening to something more upbeat, something with lyrics that are more aligned with what I want to be doing in any aspect of my life? Yeah, and we can talk about that with food. Like, that's something I'm getting really big on, is how food makes you feel, not just for the purposes of body comp, because your body comp impacts how you feel, but also how you feel in the short term. If I eat this for breakfast, or if I eat this for lunch, or if I eat whatever, how do I feel 60 minutes, 90 minutes, 3 hours later? But yeah, like rap and hip hop, one, they just tell the truth, right? Especially when it comes to romance, when it comes to male-female dynamics. I would say that country music tells a fairy tale in its lyrics. There's breakup country songs, but whatever. Like, country music is much more idealistic, and rap and hip hop, a lot of it is much more what's actually going on. Like, this isn't Disney sugarcoat. Like, and there's an aggression, there's an intensity to it that I think is severely lacking in our Western world here in 2018, and getting in touch with that piece of myself has yielded a lot of upside. Big Sean's new album, I don't know the name of it. What do you look for in a partner? I assume you mean like a romantic partner. That's how I'm gonna answer it, even though it feels weird. Like, I've done Q&As in the past, and I feel like I haven't got this much, like, Mike the relationship advice guy. What do I look like for what? So what do I look for? What does one look for? I'm gonna go with, or what is optimal to look for? Completely depends on what you want. No way, I'm running out of battery? Hang on. All right, we're charged up a bit. I was able to snag a shower, and we're back to relationship advice with Mike. Okay, so what do I look for in a partner? It depends on what you're trying to do. This really can't be applied across the board whatsoever. But what I will say is, if you are a man and you are looking for a long-term relationship, if you're looking for qualities in a potential wife to marry, because that's really, like, it's the only relationship, like girl to guy I can't really speak on, guy to guy I can't really speak on, girl to girl I can't really speak on, but what I look for in a long-term potential romantic partner is, and to back up a little bit, because I don't talk about this stuff and you need to lay context, and I'm not gonna talk about this stuff in the future, but for me as a man, the purpose of marriage is to set a foundation to raise children in the optimal setting. If I wanted to just have like a great monogamous relationship with a woman, there would be no reason to have if it was super important to her for religious reasons, like I get that, but entering that legal contract doesn't make any sense if you're not doing it so that you can have kids. Given that looking for a long-term relationship with a woman to have a family, what am I looking for? First, there just has to be physical attraction. Like, it's actually easy because it just screens the population initially. So like that needs to exist, and then like someone who has a moral compass and who operates like they have objective right and wrong, and there's objective good and evil, and pay attention to actions over words, and even in like small stuff, it just matters. Like what you do and no one's watching. Like it just really matters. So that's probably overwhelmingly the biggest thing I look for. I don't really care much about a lot of cliche stuff like common interests and like, I don't know. If you're looking long term, you really want to be looking at things that are important. And that's not to say I'm doing that necessarily right now, but yeah, physical attraction just has to be there, and then basically, do they operate with honesty as a core value? And then this is going to sound anti-PC, which, like, fuck it, fine, but would that person be a good mother is very important to me for that role, for like the long term, you know? But yeah, I don't like cliche, like, oh, she's hilarious. It's like, I can literally go on YouTube and watch old Chris Rock stuff anytime I need to laugh. Like that, if I married someone who's really funny, amazing, that's great, but it's not like, you know, like something you're looking for. What is a non-fitness question? Oh, I see what you did there. You asked a non-fitness question. I didn't get that initially. Tips on managing college, getting good grades, and social life. You have a lot of time. Like, undergraduate, at most schools, and I'm speaking from experience, right? You have time. Just try to make a schedule, try to follow it. It's hard for me to give general advice on this one. On the social life side of things, do things you really want to do, not necessarily things that everyone does, or things that you think you're expected to do, or things that you think that your peer group and acquaintances and friends would be disappointed if you didn't partake in every single time. Like, I wish in college I would have had more variety to my college experience, to the social part of my college experience. I don't know. Like, I took a philosophy class that I was really interested in, and I don't know if there could have been like extracurriculars related to that could have been on a Thursday night that I likely would have chosen gone out drinking another Thursday night over doing that thing, but yeah. Top 3 things you want to change in your life at the moment. I don't know. It just feels like an overwhelming question. If I could get there thinking about it for a minute or two, but at that point I wouldn't want to share it for reasons previously mentioned. Do you think you'll ever play poker seriously again? No, I don't. For fun though, but not seriously. It's a really hard game, and I was never that good. Like I was good enough to win game selecting well, but poker, I made a video on this. Poker was a means to an end for me, not an end in itself. So it's just fun at this point. In regards to Ultimate Sweat, when will you be working with Matt and Jamie as we close in on the deadline? I'm working with Matt and Jamie every single day. We're back and forth on the WhatsApp thread. We have calls. I'm doing their programming. So I'm getting macros sent daily. We're doing high frequency weigh-ins is something that's worked well. So we're getting it. If you're asking when the next time I'm going to be in person with them, I do not know. How do you have your money allocated? Are you keeping cash as an emergency fund, i.e. the market crashes? And if so, how much? How do you invest your money in the market? I invest my money in the market largely into the Vanguard US and non-US and a little bit emerging market funds. I don't have time to try and pick stocks, to value invest, to read 10Ks and like find good value. That's just not good ROI for what I can invest and what the opportunity cost of my time. So that's what I invest in. I do keep cash. I wouldn't necessarily say it's like for the potential for the market to crash, but for opportunity in general, I keep cash, and one of those could be a market crash. And how much? I'm trying to figure out if I want to say this. I keep a higher percentage of my net worth in cash than any of my peers that I know of. How's that? Have your accounting skills translated into the real world besides doing your own taxes? I don't do my own taxes. And then someone made a funny comment below that I liked. Okay, let's defer the understanding of 201 to tomorrow. So debit sleep payable. I'm crediting sleep receivable. Apparently the accounting knowledge didn't help me at all because I couldn't even figure that out. It helped. College accounting helped a lot. Real world accounting just helped me understand that I really don't. Corporate culture is not a fit for me. So I kind of had to experience that to know that. But yeah, the skills. I mean, the skill to work hard from college, studying and getting good grades definitely translated. And accounting is the foundation, the financial foundation of business, of understanding businesses, and even from a personal finance point of view, a little bit there. So I don't know what the exact skills were, but they did translate into the real world. When you gonna shave your head again and rejoin Project Mayhem? Bro, I just look so much better with hair. I wish I didn't, but I do. And so I'm probably not soon, unfortunately. Will you be buying a Super Bowl ticket when the Vikings get there, and who are we gonna play? Let's go, baby. I really hope we get there. No, I won't go to the Super Bowl. I would go back to Minnesota and have a Super Bowl party with, like, I have a Vikings thread that just constantly, I think we've had the thread for many years, text thread, but they were my buddy Brett Lumberg, guys that I grew up with and watched Vikings games with my whole life, would do something at someone's house. We were actually, I don't want to say that we were starting to make plans because it's so tentative, it's so far out, and like we're cursed, so who knows, but I would not go to the game. Jay Gum, what have you been up to lately? What are you reading currently? What's on your mind? Late night sessions with Mike. I feel like we're getting what's on my mind out of this video. What are you watching? I recently watched the show Limitless on Netflix, which was a movie I really liked, and the show was like, it's like a cutesy show that you can turn your brain off before bed and watch. There's only one season though, but it was 22 episodes. Are you still eating Chipotle every night? I'm eating less Chipotle these days. I know it's been the year of the micro, but the year of the micro has led to my micro intake to continue to climb, which has led to me continuing to feel better mentally and physically. But I still, when I'm in New York, 3 days a week of Chipotle. What am I currently reading? This the Lessons of History book. What have you been up to lately? Yeah, we covered that. How's the business going? What percentage of your time are you concentrating personal training, app, and other projects? Business is good. I don't really know what people mean when they ask that. Like technically, how's the business doing? No, are we gonna go out again? I'm gonna stop this just in case. And now we're just gonna grind on the low battery. How's business going? Business is good. I don't know the percentage of time. All right, this guy asked 8 questions, and I'm pretty sure, Marcos, that you like just shit on the app constantly and troll me online. And given that, I'll just try and be really fast. I don't have thoughts on Bitcoin. I don't know that much about it. I would not add a social network. I would remove one if I could. Facebook would be the one I'd remove. The best and worst thing about yourself, I despise small talk, which is a good and a bad thing. If you could change one thing about New York City, what would it be? I don't know, nothing. Thoughts on tattoos? Will you be getting one for yourself? I have 2. I don't have any plans to get another one. What brings meaning to you? Good God. All right, that's enough. Do you ever feel lonely in a room full of people? No, I don't. But because I never feel lonely by myself, or I just don't feel lonely. But sometimes in a room full of people, I want to get out of that room. What are your thoughts on net neutrality? I think it's a really good thing. I think that we need, I'm not read up, but like my understanding is that it is the law that prevents companies, service providers from divvying out better and worse upload speed for various reasons, or download speed. And I think it's absolutely necessary. I don't think that certain people or certain websites or certain businesses should have better or worse, I guess, speed. Pizza or sushi? Sushi. What do you like to do for fun? Hit that. I'm just looking at this waiting for it to die. How do you start habits and keep them going? I like check boxes, and I like actually writing it down and checking it and seeing that chain and like letting it ride. Are you dating? Yes. What's up, Mike? Best route to getting started on YouTube. Just start making shitty videos and upload them, and yeah, it's gonna be bad at first, but it'll get better. By the way, when I said my videos suck and people are like, it doesn't matter, there's not high production value, like we still like your videos. I didn't mean that. I mean my videos suck because the stuff that I had been saying in recent videos wasn't good, wasn't high quality content. I wasn't talking about the format or like the lighting or having a video guy versus not having a video guy. I literally meant the stuff I'm saying was bad content. Just, you know. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? I don't know, man. Skincare regimen, I don't wash my face. What lighting do you use? I just try and get by a window when I can. I find that to be the best. Thoughts on doing your own podcast? I don't know if you've been paying attention, Megan, but we can barely create content anywhere, so back burner that for now. Why do you wear the same thing every day? Genuine question. Is there a reason? There probably is a reason. It's comfort, it's convenience. Part of it is that I don't like, I don't know, it's like a masochistic part of me that doesn't like taking unearned success. And I feel like fashion is a fast and easy way to make yourself like slightly higher status, slightly better looking, like whatever it is. And for some reason, I don't necessarily feel like this now, but the habit of simple fashion just rolled forward. But I used to think in terms of like, I want to actually be that person instead of pretend to be that person. I don't know if that made any sense. What book, if any, are you reading now? Lessons of History. Thoughts on June? It's a great month. Doug Jones winning the race. I don't follow politics. I'm not gonna get into that. Favorite Ben and Jerry's flavor? Yeah, we'll roll with red velvet cake. Any helpful tips for someone who went to the gym just wasn't feeling it for the first time? Go again. Everything sucks when you first start out because you're probably not that good at it, and that's okay because you're gonna get better. But like the only way you can lose is quitting. So please leave me a comment down below on YouTube when you go to the gym the second time, please. I'm just wondering if you're seeing it. Man, the dating questions. I'm not seeing anyone. How'd you get the job as Gary Vaynerchuk's trainer? I moved across the country and interned for free for his previous personal trainer. it was a gift on a platter from John Romanello is how I got that job. What did you do for work before fitness? I got a master's in accounting, yep, and worked at a Big Four accounting firm. We're just doing this because I don't want to lose any footage if the battery stops. Raised in a big family, I considered parenting. I was never forced to study. I will have the opportunity to run the company if I choose. My heart isn't in it. If your heart's not in it, don't do it. Overcome your natural instinct to be an introvert. I don't. I just pay really close attention to the balance of my interactions with other people versus time by myself. One-on-one time versus group time versus time by myself. Because one-on-one I'm great, group exhausts me kind of fast, alone recharges. But too much alone, you go kind of crazy too. So I try to balance them. What would you say your best body part? Not my left bicep, my right one, which is a 1/4 inch bigger. I don't know. I feel like other people, probably either my arms or my abs. Do you have a bucket list? And if so, what's on it? I don't. What do you miss most about Minnesota? My friends. My friends, I grew up with an unbelievable group of dudes who like are some of the best human beings I know, that I love very much, that like have helped me a lot in my life. What's your favorite color? Used to be blue, but now I'm big on black and white. I don't know what that means. Best childhood memory? My 4th birthday party. I'm 30. All right. Hey man, hope you're having a good day. I have a question for you. Hung up on the problem, too hung up on things, mistake, tough break, getting over a girl, analyzing, do things differently. Analyze, pay attention, because you want to learn from your mistakes, but you're gonna make more mistakes and you're gonna have more successes, and like the more you do, the more you're gonna learn and the better you're gonna get. Like extract from the experience what you're gonna extract, but then move on and have more experiences. Don't, get in action. This is literally the last one, good, because we're on a battery. Hey Michael, what is your idea of creativity? I don't know that I need to have an idea, because I think there's a definition. And do you think it is related to mental illness? I don't know. I wish I would have started on this one. Also, have you had a mental illness condition you'd like to share? No, I don't think. I mean, maybe. You would have to list what mental illnesses are. Like, I guess if I were to say I struggled with anything mentally, it would be some degree of anxiety / psychosis related to why are we on battery dead on the last question. And it probably looks like I'm copying out if you didn't know, because that was a tough one. If anything, a degree of anxiety related to just like what are we doing here would be the answer, but no, I haven't. Okay, I can't actually see the rest of your question now though, because it was on my phone. So with that said, we're gonna wrap up the video. Thank you very much for watching. I will be uploading another video in February or March. I'm just kidding. We're gonna get rolling. Yeah, I'll see you soon. Thank you for your questions. Appreciate them very much. See ya.